Right, on to another review, another fragrance review. So here we have an interesting one. Again, following on from the Bentley review I did previously. This is again another bit of a blind buy. This is a full-on blind buy actually. Never smelt it before. This was done based on reviews I'd seen online. And again, it's what's classed as a dupe or a clone of a really popular fragrance called Creed Aventus, which I think now buying it online, the issue isn't just being able to source it in terms of find it, but because it's so popular, they tend to do lots of, I don't want to say black market clones because it's not a drug, but you get what I'm trying to say. It's sort of like very hard to buy the real McCoy products, and even then, from reviews, from my understanding, there's lots of discrepancies with quality control. Are you really getting this Creed event that it's meant to be? The batch differences between the original that people used to rave about, that's now given its popularity or rising further popularity, and the prices is just ridiculous. They go like £300, £400, £500, sometimes even more for what you get. Without further ado, I'll just show you the bottles. So this is basically one of many clones of Creed Aventus. It's called Club de Nuit Intense Man by ARMAF. ARMAF, yeah. So I think it's a Middle Eastern company, but the company itself, or where they make the materials, in France. So I won't go right into the history of it because, again, I've not smelt the original Creed Aventus, but this is like a bit like Mont Blanc Explorer. There's several actually on the market that are really well reviewed and well received that tend to be clones of this formula or fragrance that's meant to be really strong and masculine and powerful, you know. But anyway, so I'll go on to the notes of this clone. And in terms of what I paid for it, I think it was £50 off of Amazon. So I wasn't expecting much. £50 off Amazon. It's an EDP, a 200ml bottle. So without going right into spoiling the review, let's just say that that's like, normally you think, Jesus, that's really good value for money. If I really like this, or if this works for me, that I'm getting a lot of good value for money here. But I'll go over the notes and then we'll go through the actual review itself. So yeah, so again, I managed to get that on a sale on Amazon. In terms of what it's like now, it ranges from 50 to 70 for strangely 150ml. I didn't see the 200ml offer, which again, as I said, I managed to get this for a 200ml for just over £50 delivered. So, you know, that's pretty good. So here we go. So Club de Nuit Intense Man by ARMAF is a woody, spicy fragrance for men. Top notes are lemon, pineapple, bergamot, blackcurrant and apple, so fruity, citrusy. Middle notes are birch, jasmine and rose. Sounds nice. Base notes are musk, ambergris, patchouli and vanilla. Now again, I do mention this a lot. Depending on where you read the profile of the ingredient breakdown, there's lots of variations between certain ingredients, but generally speaking, that what I've got there is what should be contained in the product. Of course, with lots of fragrances, depending on where you buy them from, you do get fakes, like you get fakes of lots of things in life, clothes, shoes, whatever, and it happens with fragrances as well. In terms of with the price for value, or for what you get out of this, it's excellent value. But there's some negatives that come with this. So again, having not smelt the original, I can't draw much comparison, and this was a complete blind buy. So my initial reaction was another good one, and it won't be now, because the initial smell, for me at least, is harsh, chemically lemon, very strong, so much so I'm nowhere near my arm, and the projection already is just wafting around. So it's really strong initial smell. So if you hate lemon or synthetic lemon, when you initially smell this, like myself, I was like, uh-oh, I've just thrown £50 away down the drain just by a blind buy. Now again, I don't know the original Creed Aventus smell, But there's lots of reviews of people who apparently use both, and they draw a comparison, and they say even though it's different, it's similar in some ways, but it's good. There was lots of positive reviews, not just robots or fake profiles, genuine people with pictures and so on. Again, you can fake that as well, but you get what I'm trying to say. There's validity to a lot of these reviews, which is what made me purchase it. Again, if I go through as time goes on, all of my fragrances I pretty much have bought over the years, smelling it on myself. This is a blind buy though. So now I'm going to go back to it because it's powerful stuff, so it's drying down a bit. Shut up, Una. She's a cheeky little monkey, and she's at the door, Una the Bengal cat, and she's trying to come in and knock the camera over. But she cannot. You cannot, Una. Not yet anyway. So we're going to go in for the smell. Now I know, even by me smelling it now, obviously I'm having to do this for the camera. If I come back in half hour, which if I knew how to do it, I'm a bit of a dad like that, and I could stop it and start it, but I'd rather just go through it and review it for what it is now, you know. So the initial smell is still pleasant, but it's very harsh, and it's very artificially, chemically strong lemon, and you're going to get that. Like, I've later looked online, because for the first half hour I thought, is it just me? Is it just how I'm smelling it? Looked online, and a lot of people say the same, and a lot of people don't get away from that. Luckily it stayed on me. It's not like I washed it off. Like, it wasn't that bad, but it gets a lot better the longer it's on you. And again, for me at least, when I'd heat up for this fragrance, it would just radiate really well, where other ones, it's actually when I'm colder, in a colder environment, I can smell it more. So again, it's all to do with your own body chemistry and how you smell things and perceive things again. But most people will get a really strong sense of lemon, and lemon is an ingredient that's in it. So anyway, so back to it. So it's still strong now. It's sort of, this is the thing, as I said initially, if you gave it half hour and an hour, it's like musk and like smoky masculine notes come out of it, and it's just very pleasant, and it's relaxing almost. And you do get compliments. I was surprised, because initially I thought I got like lemon sedge, whatever. It's like an American cleaning product. I've seen that online to describe the initial smell, and lemon pledge even. And I can kind of understand where they're coming from with that, because yeah, it's actually, even now, it's sort of like it's coming out like the quality ingredients in there, not that just that initial harshness of the lemon. And it's just really it's really pleasant. It's like how do I describe it? Again, you'd have to smell it yourself, and you'd have to smell it on your own skin. Maybe how I perceive it is different for different people, but for my not just initial smell, but more so the dry down, it's just fresh and clean, and it's different. It's not like a lot of the other fragrances, you know, like your Ralph Lauren's and your Armani's and your Lacoste. I've been over this before. It's just something a bit different, and there's something about it that's hard to put your finger on. Maybe that's what that Creed event is like for people, but it's just, it seems classy, and it seems like, yeah, you could wear this going out, you could wear this on dates, you could wear it for a meal, or even clubbing. It kind of, because of that projection element, I think that when it, after half an hour, it gets a lot better. So I think it's something that you'll probably hate it to begin with, like I did, and even now I'm waiting for it to like morph and change. In terms of the longevity, I've literally, again, varies. More so on clothes, it stays there like all day on clothes. If I put someone like a hoodie or a top or a shirt around me, collar and so on, it will last obviously longer than on the skin. But in terms of on the skin, I would say up to 8 hours, which is pretty decent for an EDP, especially for the price and the amount that you're getting. In terms of radiance, again, for me, when I'm hot, it just radiates off me. Everybody around smells it, they compliment it. And I don't want to say I become nose blind, because again, even with smelling it now, it's not as strong. And I think that there is such a thing that your nose does get used to the strength of whatever it is you've got on. But that hence why if someone comes in the room and they're like, oh, that's really strong, what have you got on? Or, oh, that lemon pledge is awful, who's dropped lemon pledge? You know, the initial smell or review would be that way. But overall, I would give this like an 8 out of 10. The reason why it doesn't get a higher mark is that, a bit like the Bentley one, it's very good value for money, surprising as well. But I think the initial smell will put a lot of people off, and it could last up to half hour and an hour that way. So that could be the opposite of compliments, and it could be you not really enjoying what you've got on. But the longer you wear it, the more it will project and give more to you.